Avatar: The Last Airbender and Legend of Korra are full of powerful benders, and today I'm ranking the top 5 most powerful waterbenders. I am a huge Avatar: The Last Airbender and Legend of Korra fan, and I'm super excited to be ranking the top 5 benders in each element, and I'll be ranking each element throughout the month of April. Today I am ranking the top 5 waterbenders. The following week I'll be ranking the top 5 earthbenders, and then fire, and then air. So if you're interested in those, I really hope that you subscribe to the channel and join me for those videos and more Avatar, Korra, and more movie and TV content in general. I also want to hear your opinion, so comment down below your ranking of the top 5 most powerful waterbenders. I'll only be ranking characters who are alive from the events of Avatar: The Last Airbender and beyond, so I'm not ranking any characters who we may see in flashbacks or we may hear about from prior to Avatar: The Last Airbender, and I'll only be ranking them based on how powerful they are when we actually see them, so I'm only going based off of how powerful they actually are, not how potentially powerful they could be in the future. I will not be including how powerful characters are when they're in the Avatar or Dark Avatar state, because I think that gives Avatars an unfair advantage, but I will be considering how powerful characters are when using the sub-bending types. So in this case, for waterbending, I will be including bloodbending and healing. So of course, this is my spoiler warning for Avatar: The Last Airbender and The Legend of Korra. Before I get to the ranking, at Popcorn Heist, I choose a quote per video, and the quote of today's video is, "Water is the element of change," which is said by Iroh in the original Avatar: The Last Airbender series. I enjoy this quote because I think it explains the nature of water and the nature of waterbending and how waterbenders really get their true power. So getting right into the ranking, at number 5, I have Ming Hua, who is the waterbender from the Red Lotus crew in The Legend of Korra Season 3. I feel like, to me, Ming Hua is a character like Toph who has a disability, and rather than making them less powerful because of that disability, it actually enhances their ability, and they have to learn to rely on their bending and their power to really become a more powerful character and a character who can do a lot despite their disability. Ming Hua doesn't have any arms, so she's able to create tentacles using waterbending, and it makes her really a powerful character. She easily beats Desna and Eska. She also really badly injures Kaya, who was trained by her mother Katara, and even though Kaya's not that powerful of a character, I still feel like her getting beaten so badly by Ming Hua just speaks to Ming Hua's power. She's also able to contend with Mako, who, even though he's not the most powerful character or the most powerful firebender, he's still definitely a pretty powerful character and is able to use both firebending and lightning bending. And clearly lightning bending is pretty powerful against a waterbender like Ming Hua. And she's able to contend with him for a while before he's able to really defeat her. And even though he does defeat her, I feel like it's still a great battle and speaks to Ming Hua's overall power. Her fighting style is really mobile and really quick, and she's able to use her tentacles to fly around as she's fighting people. And I feel like a lot of characters are just not used to fighting a bender like her, so she's able to catch some of her opponents off guard. So despite her disability, I think she's a super powerful waterbender, and in my opinion, the 5th most powerful waterbender in Avatar or The Legend of Korra. At number 4, I have Tarrlok, who is from The Legend of Korra Season 1, and I feel like anyone from the bloodline of Yakone who has such powerful bloodbending is definitely a force to be reckoned with. I feel like if you took bloodbending out of the equation, Tarrlok wouldn't have made it to this list. Korra beats him pretty handily in Season 1, just when they're fighting bending versus bending, but once he starts using bloodbending, he's super powerful, and I feel like it makes him one of the most powerful characters just because of how well he's able to use bloodbending to subdue any of his enemies. He's able to use bloodbending without a full moon, and is able to defeat Korra using only water and bloodbending when she has access to 3 elements at the time, not air, but the other 3 elements, and he's able to ultimately defeat her. He's also able to subdue Tenzin, Lin Beifong, and most of Team Avatar all at the same time, and they're really not able to respond. So just due to his use of bloodbending, I think it makes him a super powerful character and puts him at number 4 on this list. At number 3, I have Unalaq from The Legend of Korra Season 2, who actually becomes the Dark Avatar for a little bit, but Just taking the Dark Avatar portion out of it, I still think Unalaq is a super powerful waterbender. Although he's not able to specifically use bloodbending, I do think he proves he's able to use waterbending very masterfully and defeat a lot of characters, including Korra, with all 4 elements just using waterbending. He's also able to defeat Korra's father, Tarrlok, pretty easily in the Southern Water Tribe, and he's a pretty powerful character as well, pretty powerful waterbender. And combined with his knowledge of spirits and his ability to use waterbending to kind of heal the spirits and almost control the spirits, I feel like he's just a very powerful character. And although they don't say he can use bloodbending, I would still take him because he's so powerful using waterbending. I always felt like it was a missed opportunity not having him and Katara face off during season 2 of The Legend of Korra. Even though she's older and they didn't specifically have to answer who would win in that fight, I do wish we had a moment like we had with Toph where she faces off with Kuvira in The Legend of Korra season 4, with Katara in season 2 and Unalaq, because I feel like it just doesn't make sense to me that she doesn't get involved in the fight at all and kind of hold Unalaq off. I just feel like it would have been a cool scene, and I wish they put it in season 2. So Unalaq, very powerful character, especially when combined with his knowledge of the spirits and spirit world, and definitely gives a lot of main characters a run for their money, eventually even removing Korra's connection to Rava. Obviously, he has the connection with Batu at that time, which I'm taking out of the equation for this list, but I think he's a really powerful waterbender, and that's why he's at number 3 on this list. And at number 2, I have Katara. I'm realizing now that this is my first Avatar: The Last Airbender character and not Legend of Korra character on this list, so I guess Legend of Korra just has some really powerful waterbenders, but I'm not going to take anything away from Katara. I think she's a very powerful waterbender. I mean, I love this character. I'm almost sad to put her at 2nd on this list. She's very natural. She's able to quickly learn, really without a waterbending teacher, for all of season 1 of Avatar: The Last Airbender. And something that makes her unique is she's actually able to master the waterbending of both the Southern and Northern Water Tribe. And she's able to learn bloodbending from Hama. Granted, she's only able to use bloodbending during a full moon, and I don't know if she would have been able to learn the power to use bloodbending whenever if she didn't swear it off, but ultimately she did swear it off, so she doesn't have access to bloodbending at any time. And I think if you just take waterbending into account, I would definitely put Katara at number 1 on this list, but just because she swore off bloodbending and we really don't get to see how powerful she is using bloodbending, I do think that I have to realistically give another character the number 1 spot. But again, don't want to take anything away from just how powerful Katara really is. She defeats Azula during Sozin's Comet, so it kind of combines how strong she is using waterbending with how inventive of a fighter she is and how smart she is when she's in battle. So I do think it makes her really a force to be reckoned with and a very powerful waterbender and a very powerful character. And her legacy lives on until Legend of Korra, where she shows that she is the greatest healer in the world and probably the greatest healer that we know of. So she's able to use that side of waterbending as well as the fighting side of waterbending. So if we're just talking straight up waterbending and not bloodbending, I would put Katara at number 1. But since we are including the sub-bending styles, including bloodbending, I do have to put another character at number 1. Some honorable mentions before I get into my top choice are Master Pakku, the master from the Northern Water Tribe in season 1 of Avatar: The Last Airbender. Another is Avatar Korra, who's pretty powerful with water, earth, and fire, water being her native element. Another is Yakone, who taught the nature of bloodbending to both Tarrlok and Amon. Another is Korra's father, Tarrlok, who has a lot of battles with some of the more powerful benders in The Legend of Korra. And lastly, I have Hama, who is the inventor of bloodbending and taught Katara about bloodbending. And at number 1, I have Amon, also known as Noatak from The Legend of Korra Season 1. Really the villain of Legend of Korra Season 1 and the leader of the Equalists. I feel like, again, if we take bloodbending out of the equation, we really don't see Amon use specific waterbending without bloodbending all that much, but he's just such a powerful bloodbender and is able to take people's bending away using waterbending, which I feel like is one of the most OP powers in the Avatar and Legend of Korra world. He pretty much easily bests everyone he fights, including his brother Tarrlok and Korra and Mako. Mako gets the better of him for like a second when he zaps him, and Korra's only able to get the best of him when she uses airbending for the first time unexpectedly. And I mean, just being able to take people's bending away is only achieved by avatars and Amon, so it just shows how powerful he is with bloodbending. And I am really sad not to be able to put Katara at the top of this list because she's definitely one of my favorite characters, but I just can't deny how powerful Amon's bloodbending and ability to take bending away is, so that is why he is #1 on my most powerful waterbenders list. Thank you for joining me for this ranking. Again, I will be ranking the most powerful earthbenders next week, the most powerful firebenders the following week, and the most powerful airbenders the week after that. So keep an eye out for those and subscribe if you want to see those. And definitely join me for more movie and TV rankings and more movie and TV content in general.